Metalstorm, The Destruction of Jared Sin in 3D. This is from the early 80s, and there's lots of fun factoids about this movie. You'll notice there's Kelly Preston there in one of her first roles. Sadly, she died earlier this year. Didn't seem old enough to die. There's actually a lot of good actors in this who are really good in a really bad movie. But there's a special kind of gold from seeing good actors work with dumb scripts and scenarios. It's really no longer a bad script, but somehow they managed to elevate it to a pantomime of sorts. And it's really good watching them try and deal with this movie. Now, the film has some technical issues that I'm guessing have to do with the age of the reels before they were scanned. So there are many shots that have one eye that has large dark areas, which is too bad. Ignoring that, the 3D is otherwise both excellent and terrible all at the same time. It's a good showcase of the challenges of shooting a film in native 3D. Of note is the difficulty of getting a good close-up with 3D cameras. If you've ever tried to film something yourself in 3D, it's one of the first rude awakenings you'll encounter. If you put a stereo camera or two cameras close up to the actor, the background will be too far apart to be comfortably viewed. And you see this problem throughout this film. Despite being hard on the eyes, though, it does make for a great 3D face that you rarely see in 3D movies, especially converted ones. The reason for that is the solution to the close-up problem diminishes the stereo effect and requires more space. You have to back off the camera significantly and zoom into the close-up. And then the stereo isn't so great, but you don't have to cross your eyes to look at it. So because you have to back off that camera, filming in tight spaces is not easy. Panning becomes more tricky, and even your lens choices and all sorts of other things are different than what you choose for two-dimensionals. 3D is sadly not as simple as just adding an extra camera, and it's probably why conversions have become normal. But when the action here is shown at a medium shot, the 3D really blooms. There's a richness to the landscape that you don't quite see in conversions. It's kind of a hyper-realism you get when each little stone and stumble has its own depth and shape with perfect resolutions to the light. Though it is a clumsy clunker of a movie, it is fun to study, whether your interest is in script or 3D problems, or even the art of acting. This is a good one to try and take apart and imagine how different choices would have affected the outcome. It has weird things that are common with bad movies, and that they spend a lot of time doing nothing, like taking long drives. You see heads bobbing back and forth for amazing amounts of time. And but there's lots of great ideas, but they seem to be discarded almost as soon as they're introduced. There's a crystal soul prison, a kind of voodoo telepathic warfare, sandworms. It's creative enough to inspire new thinking, and it's also just good enough to make it rich soil for making fun of. I'm surprised that this has never been on an episode of Mystery Science Theater. It seems to have been made for that show.